Good morning. Good part of the day. Osu Mania 4K World Cup 2024. We are back on the Osu Live channel for yet another day of matches. Depending on where you are in the world, that day might have begun earlier in the day. Anyways, this is South Korea versus Vietnam. And we are going to have totally unbiased commentary coming from none other than myself, Pachiraj, and Mashed Potato. How are you?
I'm doing good, and yeah, we're definitely bringing in unbiased commentary in here. Professional casters, that's why we're in the commentators booth. But look at the matchup right here. It is C2 against C7, but the lineup is actually quite close when you look at the head-to-head scores from last week, actually. Vietnam did outperform South Korea in some maps in round of 16. So actually, the seeding discrepancy may not actually be as big as the skills.
Yeah, especially when you take into account that this is a winner's bracket match, and usually the teams in winner's bracket are going to have greater proficiency on quarterfinals maps. I feel like all the teams still in the winners bracket are still gonna get really good accuracy on the quarterfinals, like as good as they were in round of 16. So Vietnam definitely has a chance to upset South Korea, especially if we don't know how like everyone's gonna scale according to time, especially like given players like Joki. Joki has been a very big surprise within the Vietnamese lineup.
Yeah, I would say so as well. But on the other hand, South Korea also equally big of a surprise when they replace all of their roster. Their powerhouses like Poker, Geisel, Yunho, they did not make a comeback, and you can see a complete roster replacement, and yet they are still the second seeded team in the qualifiers. So it just shows how strong South Korea is as, you know, a whole pool of talents. They can just pick 6 random players. Well, not random, but just 6 players from South Korea, and yet they can make an extremely threatening roster.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see, and we already see an SV2 Protect. SV2 Protects have been very common, way more so than SV1s. Maybe SV1 is a lot more intimidating than SV2. SV2 I feel like is easier to learn, but harder to master.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think for SV1, it's very intimidating. It's very hard for, I think it's very easy for one to get discouraged when practicing SV1, especially with the trills. If you have seen the Vapu showcase, the funny trills, the slow trills and teleports as well. So it can get very disorientating, and we can see Vietnam banning SV1 as well. So that kind of showcase why SV1 has been the more quote-unquote hated SV Alpha 2, the more evil SV.
Yeah, kind of makes me sad a little bit, but it is what it is.
Yeah, have we seen SV1 being played yet? I haven't actually watched the MP links. Oh, they did?
I mean, yeah, it definitely has been played because the second match of Saturday featured an SV2 followed by an SV1 Protect, and then those picks were played back to back for some reason.
Oh, it was the China match, wasn't it? Oh, actually, I didn't realize it, but Vietnam were already picking Rice too. I thought they would have picked LNs considering how they played. You know, the past 2 matches, they are very LN orientated and hybrid orientated team. So for them to pick straight into Rice, which in my opinion, South Korea is quite strong at. They have players like Nad and Anbigi who are quite strong physically. They're like rank 4, rank 5 in 4K.
Yeah, I feel like when you're going against a team that is good at everything, like South Korea, I think the reasoning, the strategy has to go towards individual picks. Like this individual pick is very particular because it is 1 minute and 28 seconds long. So if you miss in there, you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose big score.
Yeah, probably like a 10,000 point drop even. And that's not even talking about the map itself. The map, it's just vocal dump, but it just has so much shifting rhythm. And so once you miss, you could get a really dirty miss. So that could even drop you by even 10,000, 15,000 points even. So the name of the game is about control, holding your combo all together. We're not going to see Chidon Gaming in this lineup. It's going to be Joki, Vixao, and Rizuna.
Yeah, I think there might be logistics issue in Vietnam. Maybe a storm coming in the northern part of the country.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, it is a bit unfortunate, but you have to work with what you got. No, is that actually a miss? I think that is actually a miss on Vixao.
Yeah, gotta wait a little bit to see if the client did not fool us, but it looks like a genuine miss. And
oh no, it's not. No, it's not.
Oh, it's not. We did not actually wait long enough. So there we go. The match is really close. There's a slight advantage towards South Korea due to accuracy alone, but it's not much.
Yeah, but then the name of the game, as I said before, is about holding the combo. So actually, the 2,000 point lead could just instantly disappear or balloon, depending on who misses here. Or you could just have a 6-way full combo.
Yeah, for
you can see the lowest. Oh, sorry, you can go.
Yeah, Nad with the 99.9 still on the map. This abrasive is incredible to see. Like how?
Easily matched.
Oh!
Wait! You called his name and he listened with a miss, and now Vietnam has a lead. But they need to hold the combo.
How did I do this? Oh my god! I'm so sorry.
This is advanced commentator curse, and I think Vietnam's going to run away with the lead. With just that one miss.
Yeah, from that single miss alone, like you see, we foreshadow it. We essentially set the stage for a miss, and it actually happened on the top 2 performer. That is actually heartbreaking for South Korea. They would have gotten it through accuracy alone, and
they would have won that.
Yeah, this entire lobby is nailing this map. By the way, like Joki with 996. 114 300 is a really good ratio on this.
That actually beats Nat's accuracy as well. Like if Nat even got a full combo, that would have beat it as well. So yeah, Joki coming out with an MVP, but Vixao and Rizuna also holding their weights together with a full combo. And as we said before, full combos are the name of the game, and they did just that. And that got Vietnam just the point they need.
Yeah, so that also gets us some very useful information in that South Korea, on Rise at least, Rise Technical, may have the accuracy advantage based on ratio alone. But Vietnam is actually close enough that they can aim for... they can hope for a South Korean choke and get a point like this.
Well, if I was South Korea, I would just try to shrug off and continue to go with something like Rise 2 maybe. It's more about... Rise 2 is just more about accuracy. I think a miss wouldn't affect too much. You can see like the accuracy discrepancy between South Korea and Vietnam is quite big, so it allows them to miss 1 to 2 times actually, in my opinion. So Rise 2 would be the pick. Or maybe if you want to go for a more challenging Rise, like Rise 6 would be interesting as well.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know whether South Korea should go for the hybrids. Like, South Korea, as an all-rounded team, is really good on the hybrids, but the problem is Vietnam is also a very all-rounded team. So...
I mean, you said before, right? In winner's bracket, especially when you get to quarterfinal stage, you get the top 8 teams in the winner's bracket, and they're a whole well-rounded team. They can just pick anything they want to, and they can still get an extremely good team score. This is kind of like the difference between the winner's bracket team and the loser's bracket team at this stage. Uh-oh. Looks like they haven't picked any of the maps, so they're forcing a timeout. Actually,
yeah.
One pick I could think of, one interesting pick I might want to throw it, is actually Edit 1.
I
LN1, I think,
mean,
is... I don't know. Oh, okay, never mind. It's SV2.
okay, that's a fair pick. That's a fair pick.
Yeah, yeah, I think
I
it's a
mean,
fair pick as well.
yeah, like the thing is, if everything on the board is risky, like Rice is risky, Hybrid is risky, and LN, they banned LN2, so they might not be comfortable in the LNs in the first place. That leaves the SV category.
Yeah. So I think they're picking this just because, well, I think that the South Korean team noticed that there's a person missing within the lineup.
Oh. Oh, are they exploiting this,
They
isn't-
are.
Are they exploiting this gap right now? That is bold. That is
That is
bold,
quite
but
bold.
that is fair.
But again, South Korea also is really good at SV. They're like the #2 SV team as well, if I remember correctly. So, you know, it's not like they're picking this because they think Vietnam is weak. They're picking this because South Korea is strong at this as well. They have the lineup for it. Salutation, Scratchers, and I'm guessing Citra is going to be playing the SV picks here.
Yeah, Joki definitely not switching to South Korea yet.
Is Joki playing as... Wait, hold on. Wait. No, Joki... You can't be serious, right? Did Joki even practice? We'll need to wait and see, but... Yeah, Tridon's not here, so... They're missing one of their main SV talisman as well in Chidon, so... And we're actually seeing Nat coming in instead of Citra. I thought it was going to be Citra, considering how good Citra is at SV, but guess I guess when it comes to South Korea, there's not just three SV players. There is way more than three within that roster.
Yeah, especially given, granted, that SV2 is a very different brand as SV that usual players are used to. So we have seen different rosters between SV2 and SV1. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I think I don't want to spoil this map result, but I'm just gonna do it anyways. I think this point may go to South Korea. I don't know, just a hunch, just a bit of a hunch. Yeah, it's not like 20,000 points. Look at that accuracy on South Korea though. Just look at that.
Yeah, I mean, let's just see how much South Korea has put into this pick. It seems like they put a lot of effort on it. Like they look really confident on it.
Yeah, you can see the lowest accuracy in South Korea is 99.81. And that's not, like, when you look at in Vietnam, the highest accuracy is Big Sound with 99.7. I think, you know, for the past the past two matches, Vietnam has been bullying opponents when it comes to SV picks, so South Korea, they probably had to practice a lot to be able to counter this. And just look at these accuracy right now. It is absolutely insane. Big Sound is actually managing to catch up to Nat in terms of accuracy, but that is the lowest accuracy in South Korea.
Yeah, South Korea's SV team score is actually incredible.
This is unbeatable. I'm just saying, if they manage to hold this, because I think Japan, the two players who practiced the SV got really good score with Kuke and I don't remember the other player, but the third player did not practice, so they actually lost their SV picks. So for once, we actually might be seeing a #1 SV team score that is not Japan.
Yeah, for once.
For once. Nat did drop their accuracy down to 99.66%, but just look at the other two players. They're still averaging around 2.97 million right now. They're on pace for 2.97 million on an SV2 map. Let that sink in right now.
Yeah, this is the part where accuracies tend to drop because of the fast jams and all. And Squattretris is gonna go below 99.7. Sanitation still at 99.76, which is uncommon to see on this pick.
Yeah, this map has an extremely upper time signature. If I remember correctly, it's like 7-4, 5-4, or something like that. The music nerd's gonna chew me out for that, but with the weird time signature goes with the weird SV patterning. And this song, as you've been listening as well, it just goes all over the place. So unpredictable SV pattern, unpredictable song, unpredictable time signature. So, and yet South Korea is still holding a freeway FC. Their accuracy have dropped a bit after the second half, but this is still an insane team score, potentially the best SV team score of this weekend.
Yeah, like, granted, all the BPM changes are also pretty hard to keep track of, and Salutation is actually not dropping any single bit of accuracy on this one. And it's gonna bring us a V1SS. Like, how do you V1SSs? There's little way to V1SSs, then Salutations just did it.
Lock this person in SV jail right now. What are they doing? This is too easy for South Korea and Salutation specifically.
Yeah, like, look at this team score, like 992, 986, and 985. I don't think any team comes close to this team score.
Yeah. I think even if Chudan comes in right there, they would not be able to beat that. Tokiyume with a sub 980k, mix up with 985k. I think that's a really good team score if Chudan were be able to play, but unfortunately, due to logistic issues and whatnot, it is what it is, and they just have to continue to move on. And now they're going with Hybrid 2. Oh, I don't like this. I really don't.
Yeah, like, this is a very polarizing pick. It might be the single most risky hybrid there is. And I think, like, Vietnam, by putting this pick on the table, is looking to make South Korea combo break by all means. And I think Vietnam is definitely counting on the combo game as they did with the previous Rise pick.
But when you go against combo picks, combo breaks sort of pick, you have to also rely on the fact that your whole team needs to also not drop. But this map is a map and a half. This is like Mint's tiebreaker compressed into 2 minutes of just pure mini jack hell.
Yeah, there are many hybrids of Carry Me Away that exist. Well, I know Arceus, but this is just beyond that. Just way beyond that.
Arceus Carry Me Away, was it an SV?
No, it's a hybrid, but it's like way simpler. Think like I wouldn't say round of 64 equivalent in MWC. Like, this is quarterfinals.
This is if you put this last year, I would put this in semis because this pick is absolutely brutal. It is 175 BPM. It's not, I wouldn't call this mini jacks, it's starting to get to like anchor jacks or even vibro-ish pattern as well with the, I think there was a 4-note long jack in there, so yeah, I'm scared.
Yeah, like the quadruple jack was already an iconic element of Arceus hybrid. I'm guessing Mint brought it back. I haven't seen this map before.
Oh, well, Mint definitely brought it back, and probably made it 10 times harder as well. I mean, again, this is like, if you have some, I remember there's an extended version of this map, right? Of this song, right? So if there's an extended version, it'll become a tiebreaker.
Yeah, it's gonna be very interesting to see how this pans out because
you're going to enjoy this. You're going to enjoy this. I'll say that.
Yeah, like, I don't think we're gonna get any full team combo. If we are actually getting a full team combo, I don't know.
I'm going to leave this commentator's booth if there's a freeway FC for any teams. Yeah, you can just see the mini jacks just straight off the intro. And this is still the intro, I'm saying. And here we go. The first KI section. How are we gonna see the 2,000 point lead between South Korea and Vietnam right now? Everyone's still holding the full combo. The 4-note mini jacks, everyone hits it. What is going on?
I mean, never mind that single quadruple mini jack. Everything else is just nailed perfectly by every single player on the field. And the score is really close right now. South Korea has the slightest advantage due to accuracy alone, but the combos are still alive.
Yeah, the combo is still there, so again, this is the name of the game throughout this match so far. It's about the combo. Accuracy versus combo. South Korea does have an accuracy lead, but we saw Nad dropping a bit of a combo in the first map, and that was the undoing for South Korea. But right now, no one is dropping. That's what I said. That
we do this again on the break.
Not again.
Missile treason. So South Korea still has a chance, still gets the advantage back, but it's not over.
It's not over yet. Rizuna with a miss. Now the combo lead is on South Korea's side. They heard us, man. They heard us. And now the lead is at 50,000 points. It's practically irrecoverable. Rizuna with another miss, and that is the undoing for Vietnam. And that is going to be our first breakpoint of this match. That was a bit of a collapse there. The break really just broke everyone. Half of the team there, half of the lobby. And what V1 SS from Nad, but the MVP goes to Joki. Wait, what is that? What is that?
Yeah, Nad's score is actually incredible. Like, you do not get that kind of score on this map in particular. Like, you saw all of those mini jacks. You saw all of this abrasiveness. Like, this map is brutal. You do not V1 double S's. Anyways, like
Joki with 1-15 ratio though.
Yeah. Like, South Korea and Vietnam were looking really close all the way throughout this pick, and like two of the players were holding 99.8 accuracy like the longest time, and Reizuna was showing a bit of sign of weaknesses here and there, but yeah, just that second half is just doing it, man. That's pretty unfortunate.
And now that Vietnam is lost on hybrid, that leaves South Korea to maybe even look for hybrid, and they're going to break hybrid free. This is why I don't like it, because they just open up a new kind of territory for South Korea to pick on as well. Have you seen this map yet, Patarash?
I've actually seen this one before. This has been played before.
Yeah, this is funny. This one's quite funny as well.
Yeah, it is very bursty.
Yeah.
It's very bursty, and bursts also mean many occasions to choke and lose accuracy on, especially.
Yeah, the Ellen patterns is quite funny as well. But to be honest, I've only seen this as an SV map. I've only played this as an SV map. I think it was made by Top Daddy.
Yeah.
Was it Top Daddy? Yeah, that was iconic. But I'm too old to play. I'm too washed to play this map now on this hybrid pick. 6 stars. We're in quarterfinals, and the star rating has already eclipsed 6. We're going to be seeing a similar lineup as well for Vietnam. I think there's not going to be a lot of changes here. It's going to be Big Sam, Rizuna, and Joki. On the other hand, also similar lineup as well, so no changes in here.
Yeah, no changes, and I think there's going to be essentially no changes in dynamics in this match, because every single pick, I feel it's going to be really close. And we've seen the Rise pick get really close, we've seen the previous hybrid get really close, and I think this one is also going to be really close.
I think it's about the combo again. It's just combo. I think the accuracy does favor South Korea a bit, but we saw how this match goes. It's more about how well you can handle your mismanagement. And here we go. Here's the meat of the map. The burst, the rise burst, the Ellen followed right after that. It's all about how well you can control the burst. Then do the releases as well. You can see Vietnam actually having a bit of an accuracy lead. Joki with 99.9, Rizino 99.8. Actually, the lowest accuracy right now is Vixen with 99.77.
Yeah, I think like Vietnam's advantage alone is brought by Joki's 99.87 right now.
Oh, actually, that burst dropped Rizino's accuracy by quite a bit. And now the accuracy is to South Korea, but again, it is so minuscule. It's practically nothing but makes up the miss.
Yeah, no. The misses are gonna be the most important element of this match, and you gotta look out for another miss from Reizuna. Unfortunately, is also gonna get the advantage brought to South Korea even more.
But I just want to point out that those two misses were really clean. This map can bring a lot of devastating losses, and this is not the hardest part of the map just yet. The last quarter of this map is absolutely brutal. So you just wait for that, and switch over the miss!
That was a pretty nasty
quite
miss
dirty.
as well.
Yeah, that was quite, and right into the break as well, so the combo reset is going to hurt South Korea quite a bit.
Yeah, gonna lose quite a bit of lead right now. Like 7,000 just about is not gonna be a lot of leeway for South Korea into this last part.
The hardest part. You can see a whole collapse in here if they're not careful. You can see the full Allen burst. And everyone's hitting it! What is going on?
Oh, nice curse.
Nice one.
Once again.
Nice one. Okay, cool.
It takes a Vietnamese commentator to curse the Vietnamese players.
Yeah, maybe I should start speaking South Korean. Start speaking Korean. And Joki with a miss! Vixen with a miss! A whole team collapsed right there. Only Rizina picks up only hold the combo together. On the other hand, Nad Am Yi with a full combo and a 2.97 million team score to boot. And that is that for South Korea. The third point.
Yeah, I think that's a very similar dynamic as the previous hybrid pick. Like, it gets really close in the first half, and the second half, well, you just kind of lose it to either stamina or just a lot of misses happening in the second half, which is pretty unfortunate to see. But it just kind of goes to show how consistent, how strong South Korea is on this map pool.
Yeah. So now Vietnam, they really need to kind of take some of their time to think about what to pick, because hybrid is just not working out for them. There's only one more hybrid, but I doubt they want to pick that. The first hybrid is quite different from the other two in terms of it's very straightforward. It's very similar to LN2, I'll say that, which South Korea did ban. So they could go with that, or they go with Rise 4 or something.
Oh, that's
Interesting.
that's an intriguing pick. I think.
Yeah. What South Korea's been picking makes sense to me, but what Vietnam has been picking is quite over the place in my opinion.
I would say this is sort of similar to the idea of the other Rise, like Rise 5. I think they're kind of trying to replicate that situation where they would get a full team full combo and trigger a South Korean choke. Well, that can very well happen on this one.
That could happen. That could really do happen. This map does not hold back though. You see Frums and you see Rise 6. You start feeling the shakes. You start feeling scared. The creeps up on your back. Because yeah, this map is not for. It's not rated E for everyone. It's definitely just rated way higher.
Yeah, what you hear right now in the music is the Vietnamese storm that is going on right now. They had to sacrifice Tid1 for this, but they are coming in for South Korea. Will the Vietnamese storm take South Korea for a second point for Vietnam? We'll see right now.
They really need this right now. I can just see just the polyrhythmic patterning in here, and just so much coordination. The mini jacks and everything.
Yeah, the anchors are definitely like the hardest part of the map for some people, especially those who are not well versed with the technical side of things. And it gets really close. We are trading accuracies between Vietnam and South Korea. It is going almost back and forth.
I'm sorry, Joki is on the level there. Oh, no one is even close to Joki. A whole 10% ahead of Citra, who's the highest accuracy in South Korea. And I think that is making the accuracy difference right now for Vietnam. But
Yeah,
again,
Gag's a little bit behind, yeah.
Yeah, you did point out, GGX, GGX is a bit behind right now. But again, it's about the combo. We saw, South Korea, both South Korea and Vietnam, they're not immune to these misses.
Yeah, South Korea does have two players at 99.8, which can counter Joki's 99.9 very well. But yeah, the Vietnamese have to hold hard for the second half.
Yeah, they have to weather the storm.
The literal storm.
Literal storm and the metaphorical storm. Yes.
The storm is coming from South Korea, but no!
Oh,
Big Sal is gonna fall prey to the storm!
Oh, this part is so dense. It's not holding back. It's still a clean miss, so it's still possible for anyone to miss right now, but everyone in South Korea is just demolishing this pick.
Yeah, like the physical element of this map definitely caught Big Sal off guard. But look, South Korea is just so comfortable on this map pool. There's just nothing that can disturb South Korea, save for that one single miss that cost them their point in the first pick.
I don't think that would have done it, to be honest. Even if Vixal gets the full combo, that would be roughly around 988k. So that would not be enough, but shout out to Nad and Joki and Citra actually getting above 995k. So again, these players have been the top performers throughout the match so far.
Yeah, like look at the team score from South Korea. It is, well, South Korea did not end up as seed number 2 for no reason. Like
Yeah,
they
that
are
is for
a
sure.
really solid team.
Yeah, but when it comes to qualifiers, I think like it kind of shows how well you can perform up to quarterfinals, and being a high-seeded team shows that you can definitely handle quarterfinal maps much better than others, and we can see South Korea right now, double 995k, and GGX was actually a really good ratio to boot as well. So yeah, it's looking good for South Korea, and now South Korea can still have a hybrid one to pick, or if they want to risk it with the LNs, I doubt they will touch any of the LNs right now.
Yeah, I would have thought that Vietnam...
Okay, they pick LN3,
okay.
sure.
I thought that Vietnam would go for the LNs, but apparently like South Korea can just go for anything.
Actually, I think, if anything, they would pick LN3 more, based on how the matches went. The two hybrids, Hybrid 3 and Hybrid 2, their LN pattern is quite similar to LN3, and South Korea did win Vietnam both of those.
Yeah, that's fair. Like LN3 is almost hybrid-like in its approach, because there's a lot of abrasive patterning that can make people miss. I feel like those maps were made to make people miss.
Yeah. Oh my god. I was just looking at the team chat right now. Well, private team chat, and looks like Rizuna does not have the map.
Well, that's unfortunate.
It's a bit unfortunate. Again, I think the scoreline here does not really represent how close this match could potentially be. Vietnam does miss their biggest talisman within the name of Chidon Gaming, so...
I mean, like, Vietnam is providing us with this performance without one of their players, like, without one of their main liners. It's just it just represents how good Vietnam is as a team.
Yeah. So again, I think the scoreline was a bit misrepresentative of what could have been, but still, it is still not over yet. It is only over when it's over, so it's only 4-1. we have seen comebacks of epic proportions before.
Yeah, catch. What was Brazil's opponent yesterday? I think Mexico. Mexico Brazil was incredible.
Yeah, no, I think Brazil. I think it was quite back and forth, but Brazil was down for all of the matches until the tiebreaker.
Yeah, from 4-1 to 6-5.
Yeah, so anything up? Yeah, 4-1 is the score line right now, and you can see Vietnam with a bit of a lead from the intro. But as soon as I said that, reason with the miss.
Coming right out of the intro, and that is way
this
past
one
the
is
400
evil.
combo point.
This one is so evil. The one-handed trill. Everyone hits it. Rizuna gets back to the 400 combo. Actually, despite the miss, Rizuna's actually accuracy climbs back up a bit right now, nearly matching a Pan Yi. And it's only 6,000 points difference, so a miss could change this quickly.
Yeah, on paper, Vietnam could have the advantage based on accuracy. So we have to look for that aspect as well.
Yeah, Big Sal doing actually quite well right now, 99.75. So is Joki. So they're both countering Nad and Citrus. It's just a difference between, I'm guessing, Ami and Rizuna, because Rizuna did drop a miss earlier. But again, the score lead is way too close to call right now. Anything could potentially happen. We're reaching to the last bit of the map. Everyone's still holding their combos together. This will be South Korea's point if everyone holds their combo together. And it might be it. There's still a bit more of the map left.
Big Sal and Joki really putting a really incredible performance into the lens. Citra and Nad also matching those performances.
This is why you shouldn't cite read maps. This is a cautionary tale to everyone else.
Yeah, especially this map in particular.
Yes, yes, indeed. Now, just look at these scores right here. 991, 992, 992. Actually, this is quite insane scores for a map that as abrasive as LN3.
Consider this. If this was a 2v2, this would have been incredibly close.
Actually, I think Vietnam would have won it. They would have, because Joki does beat up Nad and Citra does lose Vix about a couple 100 points. So yeah, I think the difference was all between Rizuna and Am Yi, and their third. I think this is the time I would start, touching onto the third player syndrome part. This is what separates, the top 3, top 4 team to the other, teams like within the top 12, is that they have a third player that can dish out 985k to 990k in these maps.
Yeah, I think it's quite interesting to see. You compare this team dynamic versus a 1v1 dynamic. Like 1v1 dynamic, it's like you've got two players. You've got one player that might be a little bit better than the other player on certain skill sets and so on. It's very easy to think about. But in MWC, in any World Cup that is, you have to take into account the entire team. Like, you have to take into account that one player might be a lot better than the others and might quote-unquote carry them. Also, from the other end, you have to make sure that your lineup actually survives the map pool. That is also very important in a winner's bracket. And quarterfinals is usually where we see teams start to show weaknesses.
And it starts to become more of an issue the later we go to. The difficulty ramp up is still going to continue. If you think quarterfinals is as hard as this could get, then you are so wrong.
Yeah, Vietnam continuing on with the trend of picking Rice Tech. The upper half of Rice has not been touched by anyone. South Korea, I think, correctly assesses that it would be too risky against Vietnam. Like Vietnam definitely has the physicality to maintain those picks, so it is way too close in accuracy to be picking there. And Vietnam is also a lot more afraid than South Korea to pick those picks.
Yeah, that's for sure. And we're to be seeing Scratchers actually coming in instead of, if I remember correctly, GGX or AME, which they have been playing for quite a lot of Rice picks. So interesting to see Scratches coming in, or otherwise known as the composition. Shout out to anyone who recognized that name.
Okay, 5-1. This is match point for South Korea. Vietnam's last chance to bring it back. Otherwise, Vietnam's going to the losers bracket. They're gonna have a second chance in the losers bracket, and seeing Vietnam potentially in the losers bracket is a very terrifying thought.
It's that. Oh, okay. I thought someone disconnected, but yeah, as I said before, now this is where the losers bracket gets so scary because now you start pushing down some of the more stronger teams within the losers bracket. We saw already Malaysia going down to the losers bracket, and I would not want to face Malaysia. And also Philippines is in the losers bracket as well. So yeah, you have those two to worry about.
Yeah, there's a lot of uncommon countries, quote unquote, in the losers bracket. The UK is currently in the losers bracket. Who
I
else?
don't know what to say about that, to be honest. Yeah, UK, China's also in the losers bracket. They might be even eliminated after. There's one more match for this round. As well. Also, actually, the score lead is so close right now. It's only less than 2,000. Oh no!
You have to do this again.
No.
You have to do this again.
I don't know what to say about this anymore. But at least the miss was very clean. It's only 7,000 points. Oh come on! No!
You cannot keep doing this. Please.
Jokey. That is such a disgusting drop from Jokey from 99.95 to 99.7.
Oh my god.
What is going on? No!
I'm out. I'm out.
I'm done. I'm so done with this.
Man, I'm just gonna take a small vacation right now.
This is why I don't commentate for Vietnamese matches.
Yeah. Actually, y'all wanna know a fun fact? Both of my parents are Vietnamese, so I'm actually also sort of Vietnamese. So this match has been rigged from the start.
This is quite rigged already. But South Korea does not care about any of the commentary bias anything. They're just plowing straight through with a freeway full combo. Lowest accuracy is 99.7 from Squatress, and that is basically it. 40,000 points difference. It's basically stabbed, sealed, and they're banishing Vietnam to the losers bracket. I don't think there's much more chance to go from this.
Also, should I note how well South Korea is doing? Like, South Korea has been incredibly consistent throughout all of the picks in all categories involved. And right now we see a 99.92 from Nad, a 99.79, lost a little bit here with a 200 from Citra. Quarterfinals also maintaining their 99.74. All of those scores are really strong on a pick as abrasive as a role understanding 1.15.
Yeah, that is just it for Vietnam, but look at that performance of South Korea. We might be seeing a 2.98 million team score. Oh, just about 2.98, and that is just an insane team score from South Korea. 997 from Nad, and that is a performance and a half from this man right here. I think this is their first ever participation in MWC. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think yeah, it's only Scratchers who's the only returning player from South Korea. The rest are all debutants, and they are just showing up right here. Insane score, lowest. Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of first appearances, Jokey with the best ratio in the lobby.
Jokey is the definitive MVP of this match. He did his best, and so is Nat. Nat and Jokey have been the two top performers of this match. But unfortunately, there can only be one winner, and it's going to be Nat's team. In the name of South Korea coming through to the semi-finals winners bracket, so actually getting a top 6 placement. Vietnam, unfortunately for them, they're going down to the losers bracket where they're going to face, I think, the winners of China and someone else, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, well, 6-1, adding on to the list of the many 6-1s that we've gotten this week.
No clean sweeps. Wait, no, there was not. Never mind. But yeah, that's quite unfortunate. But you know what is not unfortunate? We do have is banners. Banners still for sale, right?
Yeah, banners are still for sale. They're gonna be for sale up until the end of the tournament, I want to say. It's a
Yeah.
long time coming. We have a few weeks coming of matches. We are in the quarterfinals. There's still like the semifinals, the finals, and finally the grand finals. And if your supported team actually wins the tournament, you get to keep the banner for an entire year. And also, another element you might be interested in, the banners actually stack on your profile as long as the tournament is going. So,
Yes, yes. So you can do some funny shenanigans, and if you want to do just that, head over to the Osu store page, and there will be a section where you can buy the banners. You can buy as many banners as you want. Try not to bankrupt yourself, but you can showcase how much you love Osu Mania 4K World Cup or your country as well by going to the store section, as we said before. So yeah, with that aside, do you have anything else to say, Paturash?
yeah, look forward to the next match. That is gonna be Russia versus Taiwan. I believe that is gonna be their second match of the weekend. So definitely gonna be a clash of underdogs right there. Like those two countries are definitely underdogs in their own
Yeah.
regard.
Yeah, and followed by Thailand versus Singapore, so the C matchup, the C rivalry between Thailand and Singapore. So yeah, very stacked matchups, and Brazil Japan as well followed right after that. UK versus Hong Kong, so you do not want to miss those. So we'll see you guys in 2 hours from now. So yeah,
Bye bye.
bye.